Welcome to another issue of Squash Extra, where we bring you all the latest news and action from the PSA World Tour. October started with the first PSA World Series event of the season, as the world's best players returned to Philadelphia for the 2017 US Open. The upsets came thick and fast in the men's draw on day one, as Paul called down Kareem Abdul-Gawad before Mexican Cesar Salazar, 12 months on from his cruel defeat to Mohamed El-Shorbagy last year, finally earned a second round berth with a huge win over James Willstrop.
5-11, 11-9.
The upsets were flowing in the women's draw too, with Salma Hani Ibrahim claiming a headline win over Sarah Jane Perry in the first round.
11-6, match to Ibrahim. 3 games to 1.
Before Annie Au, for the first time ever, defeated Nicole David in a huge second round shock.
11-7, match to Au, 3 games to 2.
From then on though, it was Noor El Taib who stole the attention in the women's draw as she stormed past Laura Mazzaro and Noor El Shabini, courtesy of 2 blistering performances, to set up a title decider versus Raneem El Walili. She took to the court just before her husband Ali Farag was due to play defending men's champion Mohamed El-Shorbagy. But it was to be a family affair in the city of brotherly love, as Ali Farag and Noor El Taib wrote their names into the history books as the first couple ever to win the same singles title on the same day. 3-time world champ Nick Matthew was knocked out of the US Open by fierce rival Mohamed El-Shorbagy. We've teamed up with Dunlop Sport to document the Wolves' final season. Check out what he had to say about the impact El-Shorbagy has had on his career.
You know, to have a rivalry with someone who's 11 years your junior is a pretty cool thing. You know, I'd love to have been 3 years age difference, and then that would have been a hell of a physical battle there. I'm not saying I would have come out on top, it just would have been amazing to watch, because there's been a couple of times he's got me on the back foot because his physicality is probably more raw than mine at this stage in the career. You know, so I have to think my way out of jail against him rather than, you know, going totally physical. And he really doesn't care about anything other than winning a squash match. You know, you see some heavy movements at 9-all, he doesn't care, like, and that's fine. We both fight. You know, he says it's like a war out there, and you know, I think I'm at a point in my life that it's not a war, it's a game of squash. You know, at one point I was thinking exactly the same. That doesn't mean that I don't want it as much as the younger guys. I think a couple of years ago I worried that because I wasn't willing to go to war, like the war of words, and go beyond just playing squash, that meant that I'd lost my edge, that I'd lost my hunger, and I was worried about that for a period of time. And then I realised that actually it's a positive, because I now want to win, but I don't need it. Whilst, you know, I'm killing myself to try and win when I'm on there, it is easier to come off and, you know, take that on the chin. And I think this season I've almost found a balance between the two. I want it more than I've done in a couple of years, but I'm happy whatever the result.
After falling to Farag at the US Open, El-Shorbagy had his eyes set on revenge as the action moved across the Atlantic to the Channel Vase St George's Hill Championship. And the duo tore through the draw to set up a highly anticipated final,
11-3, match to Farag, 3 games to 2.
where El-Shorbagy extracted his revenge over Farag to lift his second title of the season so far.
Down. 12-10, match to Shorbagy.
The matches continued to come thick and fast as the PSA World Tour made its way to Doha for the 2017 Qatar Classic. After falling to an inspired Cesar Salazar at the US Open, James Walstrop found himself on the losing end once again in the first round, this time suffering at the hands of Diego Elias, as the young Peruvian Puma continued to show that he's made the transition from prodigal talent to genuine top caliber player.
12, 10, 11, 5, 11, 8.
Elias's run though was cut short by Gregory Gaultier, with the French general making his comeback to the tour after injury, while world champion Kareem Abdul-Gawad once again bowed out early, seeing his title defence halted by German Simon Rosner, who secured his first World Series quarter-final win after 21 attempts. Rosner though lost out to the tournament surprise package Tarek Noman in the last four. But it was El Shabaghi who took the title to underline his return to form.
It means so much, you know, I came into this final and it's just any final is really going to be really hard, and just the way I thought I played the whole week, you know, I felt I played so many good matches, and today we played a great match, so I would like to really congratulate Tarek for such a great week, you know. I think he played amazing squash for the whole week, and I think this is going to be the start for a lot more to come from you, and I'm really sure about that, for sure.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your Qatar Classic 2017 champion, Mohamed El Shabaghi.
Away from the SQUASHTV cameras, Adrian Waller secured victory at the DPD Open. Here's what the champion made of the event.
The match was tough. We both know each other's games very well, and you know, it was touch and go a lot of the match, and I think I just managed to get on top at the end there in the fifth and get a good lead and close it out. But until then, it was just tight all the way. Over the moon to win the tournament, and I think this is my biggest title to date, so really pleased and happy to top off a good week with the biggest win of my career. The celebrations might have to wait a week because I'm going to Philadelphia tomorrow, and maybe I'll meet up with a few people out there and celebrate for one day, or when I get back. Haven't really thought about it yet.
Mexican #1 Cesar Salazar claimed his 6th World Tour title at the Lifetime Chicago Open, beating Joel Makin to take the M25 crown. Meanwhile, there was an enthralling culmination to the PSA Valencia M10 tournament, with Belgium Jan van der Herwegen overcoming Edmund Lopez of Spain 11-9 in the fifth. It was a family affair for October's Players of the Month, as Ali Farag claimed the men's award and wife Nour El Taib claimed the women's after their wins at the US Open. Once again, the Shot of the Month competition for October was hugely competitive, with Nour El Taib coming in third, Daryl Selby in second, and this amazing shot from Sourav Ghosal taking the top spot. How does he do it? In the women's rankings, Raneem El-Walili overtakes Camille Serme to take the #2 spot, while Nour El Taib returns to the top 10 for the first time after her long injury layoff, courtesy of the US Open victory. In the men's, Farag's first World Series title sees him overtake the Wolf to move to the #4 spot, whilst Omar Mossad makes a huge jump of 11 places to return to the top 20. This week also marks just 1 month to go until the 2017 AJ Bell PSA World Championship, where the world's best players will descend on Manchester to play for the biggest title in squash. Malaysian legend Nicole David will be hoping to win title #9, but earlier this month she took us back to 2014 and a victory against Raneem El-Walili, in what she said was the most emotional of her career.
And by that last final point when I won it, and I won the world title for the 8th time, that was truly the most emotional win of my career. I haven't felt that emotional before in my life, and I think even after that win and after that year, it has taken some time to really get over it, because it was just to win an 8th world title too at that moment, being down and coming through, and to beat someone that's so talented as Rennie. It's everything. I can't even explain it. It was just a very proud moment for me and a special one for myself.
The action continues to come fast and furious in November, with the Squash TV cameras making a debut at the Men's World Team Championships in Marseille, where the top PSA pros will represent their nations in the prestigious team event. You'll be able to watch the action live and free at PSAWorldTour.com. But before then, we head to Hong Kong for the 2017 Hong Kong Open, where the Maverick Ramya Shaw will return to action, hoping to defend his title alongside women's defending champion Narong Gohar. Be sure to subscribe to Squash TV on YouTube, and remember, the only way to watch all the action live and on demand is to sign up to Eurosport Player or Squash TV.